Welcome to the show. I'm Astrologer Val Evans. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm out here in the DMV. We are going to be reviewing the solar return for the USA and also review the chart for Donald Trump and make some predictions. Might as well look at Venezuela while we're at it. If you've never seen the show before, you can learn how to make your own predictions using solar return charts, and you came to the right place. If you're interested in trying to figure out what your own predictions are, I've got a new show. It's True Crime Tuesdays. This week, we've got Amy Bradley Part 2. If you want to watch last week's show on Amy Bradley, which was so fascinating, just hit the join button and you can view that content. The way I have a special reading going for anybody who wants to book for November. And here is my information. Just go to astrologywithval.as.me. This one's a good price, so definitely take advantage of it if you think you want a check-in or a new reading in November. It's a great gift as well. You want some predictions? Well, first of all, we got Queen of Cups for this show. So that tells me that a woman is involved. I'm looking at October, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you, Michelle. Nice to see you. Sussex, England, and it's evening over there. What we're going to talk about today, USA solar return. As I said, Donald Trump's solar return for 24 and 25. I won't spend too much on 24, but I wanted to show you where his assassination attempt was in his solar return. Venezuela, just for a quick second. And we're also going to look at George Washington's solar return, 24, 25, and 2005. Why 2005? Well, first of all, we can look at George Washington because he represents the US. So I like to look at his chart too. And you can see where the president is in George Washington's chart, even though he was the president. You can see the current president in his chart, according to me. And 2024 was a time when it shocked the nation, where Trump was, he was almost assassinated. And we're going to look at 25, see what's coming up. It looks like some drama ahead, big, big, big time drama. And then we're also going to look at 2005 in George Washington's chart, which was the year of Katrina. So, George Washington was a Pisces. So you got a bunch of Leos right now coming in, trying to take over. The Pisces don't like that. A Pisces chart is not going to be that supportive of the kings. Well, what is Pisces? One who helps the people. Tyrants can come in and out, and dictators or people who want to be dictators, it might do some harm, but it's not forever. Thank you, Inga. You're grocery shopping, Deb. Well, thank you for listening. Yes, Michelle, dark here now in Sussex, no trolls in these woods. The USA solar return chart, there's what it would look like if you were just looking at it and you're like, well, where do I start? Well, we're going to start on the birthday. So that's going to be the rising sign. And so interesting how, and I mentioned this in the last reading, for the US, that Pluto would be right on that rising sign, showing betrayals. It's going to show murder. It's going to show revenge. Definitely is part of the signature or identity temporarily of the USA. That's going to be this year. And also the fact that the rising sign is in Aquarius. So there are shocks that come in where everybody just can't believe it. Charlie Kirk, his assassination would be one, but it looks like we've got a bunch of others coming in. What we're doing is we're looking in this part of the chart because every house is going to be a month. I'm looking at what's coming up in October, and I see something happening there. This could be a suicide. It could be an accident. It could be something that is really unexpected, and it could have several different storylines. So first of all, maybe there's someone who is unaliving themselves. We're going to look at Venus and Uranus as a female, and this could be a group of females that are in Gemini. Gemini shows a group, keeping in mind that we've got Uranus right at the last degree of Taurus in the solar return chart. And what is a solar return chart? It's a snapshot of the sky this year, but at the same date and time of the birth chart. This is going to give us some predictive qualities. Because we're seeing some red lines or poor aspects, this is going to affect the country, and it's going to be probably a pretty big shock. What does this mean? Well, this is in the fourth house. Now, the fourth house for the solar return is Congress. And it can also, it's like the houses, fourth house. The cusp happens to be right on Algol, which, so we're going to see this year, whenever you see a cusp in the late degrees of Taurus showing the neck, we're going to see those themes of a neck or a shock to the neck. With Venus and Uranus, this could be a female that's strangled, I hate to say it, and a female fall. But that is going to really affect because it's so shocking, it affects the US as a whole. This person, because we're going to try to get a better profile of this female. Let's take a look at who it is. I already got Queen of Cups. Let's get more information on who this female is. It's coming up probably early days of October, maybe October 9th, 10th, 11th. I want to say 11th because that's an Aquarius number. It's a shock. But can you give us some kind of profile on who this female is coming up for the US that everybody's going to be talking about? Oh, it looks like a group. Yes, so could be a group of women because of the Venus there. Now, Venus doesn't always mean women, but I usually gravitate towards saying that. This is when you have an opposition, which we do with Uranus. What does that mean? Uranus means to break. So there's somebody who's breaking something, and it has to do with the US. Who is breaking something that everybody's talking about in October? Oh, that's my Zelensky card. Hopefully he doesn't break anything. But yeah, we might see something that has to do, of course, we're going to see Ukraine type of themes. This is in the home of the US. They are breaking ground at the White House because of the ballroom. Yeah, so the fourth house would be the White House. Let's get a card for the White House. What's happening in October at the White House? Nine of Pentacles. Lots of money. Probably spending a lot of money too. A lot of money coming in. Is there something Uranus related that is going to happen in October for the White House? Strength reversed. It's a female. And it could be somebody who has those Leo types of qualities. Yes, Raymond de Pasquale, the survivors of Epstein releasing the names of their abusers. I think that's what it is too. Candace, it could be Candace Jan, the high military personnel all meeting. That is true. That is true. It's almost like the females are in charge. Well, thank you, Green Eyed Tomboy. I did a little bit different. Hide the roots. Got to fluff it up. I have a feeling it has to do with Russian-Ukraine war. This is someone loses their head. Now, there could be, because there's a group, it's like there is Aries there. So these people have an Aries quality to them. They are winning something. And when you have a blue line to Aries, that means you're going to win. So these females are winning something. They're feeling good. It looks like a lot of money too. This could be crypto. This could be crypto. I like to look at the Vertex. Vertex is like a fate point or a fated point. And when you have the Vertex in good aspect, it can show you are fated in a good way. It's you're kind of saved. If there is a square, which there is one, it's kind of like fate is not on your side. This person here, Gemini, Trump's in there too, his son. But it looks like fate isn't on this person's side, even though they are actually winning something, which would be here. Looks like a lot of drones, a lot of airports. This could be an airport. And we're going to see maybe a dozen of these types of themes. It doesn't just necessarily mean one main one. It's this, it could actually be an airplane right there. Could be a drone. Could be, lots of shutting or shooting down drones right now. It could be something that has to do with an airplane. You see that a lot when Putin's involved. There are going to be quote unquote suicides of females, suicides of potential spies, lots of air crashes. Could be a group of planes. And I almost think it's an omen right now that we're seeing all these planes having trouble taking off. Broken blue blood. If the females are all in charge, there may be some hope. I agree with you. Are they making peace? It looks like it. It looks like they are doing an amazing job. Let's say they're planes, then maybe the planes are flying somewhere. They could be flying to Germany, which there's Aries there. Could be flying to maybe New England or a sports town of some sort. What would represent Europe in USA's chart? It's a good question. If I think of Europe, I think of allies. So I would say the seventh house, but I guess it depends on which country we're talking about. There's some positive things here. What's nice when Uranus is in that blue line or that trine or sextile, it is something that's very fast. Oh, it's so fast. It's like poof, 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 poof. People are winning, winning, winning. They're getting their way. They're flying a lot because of Pluto there with Aquarius. Because we've got that red line to the vertex, there's something that is just, it's kind of like bad luck. So let's look and see what this is. If it wasn't necessarily a female, what could it be? Could this be something where everybody is just kind of in shock that it hurts the US? The US, we need good news. And this is something of a shock where people just can't believe it. Could this be an airplane? Four Pentacles. Four Pentacles is kind of like inexpensive. So maybe it's kind of like could be a prop plane. But clarifier on if we're talking about an airplane, probably around October 10th, 11th, or 12th, Eight of Pentacles. Planes are going down again. The plane data. So there could be some kind of data problem again where planes are grounded at this point. October 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere around there. And I know it's not because the little line here where this is, where we're looking, it's not in the middle of the house. Yeah, we know it's like not mid to late November. We know it's a little bit earlier because it's closer to October 4th. So that's why I'm kind of guessing. And how we know that this is going to be uncomfortable is because, and this is going to happen in anybody's chart, we see that it's right at the neck. So it's breaking your neck in a sense. Some kind of, it does have to do with the neck again. Let's get a card. I need to get one more card here for the neck. We're talking about the neck in October for the USA solar return prediction. Are we talking about a female that's going to make the news? And there's something that has to do with the head or neck. Okay, Four of Cups reversed. Maybe this female it could be a female. I mean, it could still be a no, but a clarifier on something with a neck profile with Taurus there, right at the Algol degree. This is somebody who has potentially an addiction problem. Is it an addiction problem? No. Thank you for looking that up. San Francisco Air Show. 5th to the 13th of October? Yeah, it would be something like that where it would be some kind of air show. Is there something that we should know about regarding the San Francisco Air Show? Two of Pentacles. Looks like yes. Thank you, Toy. Yes, please hit the like button if you like this kind of content. There is a female involved here. There could be an airplane, and it is going to be in the early days of October. We're going to have some good news in this show. Don't worry, but I was just wondering what that was. Then we're going to move on. Once we get into maybe October, maybe 12th, 13th, we get into Gemini. And so that's when Mercury is going to aspect. Oh boy, that's a whole other story in itself. And that's still in October. This is a group of kings, and they are in trouble. They are in trouble. You want to see what I'm saying? As we get into the October time frame, we got some cats here. The good part is this is what you want. Now, your ascendant begins the U.S. solar returns. Ascendant is going to change now to Mercury. So now this is the USA. And so there is a very nice part of fortune there. So that's very good. It's a pivot point that when things are kind of stuck, you can go there. And it looks like The 8th house is the bosses of the solar return, probably Congress. And there could be a win with the politicians. And there could be some kind of, I mean, believe it or not, there could be some kind of negotiation that where everybody's happy. But at the same time, there is something that's pretty fierce here, pretty vicious, because this is the same signature that we saw with the Idaho 4 murders with Black Moon Lilith and the moon here right up in the 9th house. So we are going to be hearing this in the news. This is big, 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 big news. And it seems as if the press is really, really, I mean, this is an explosion right here. It's fire. It's definitely fire. It is whatever it is, say it's going to be fire or something like that, it is intentional. It's going to be some kind of a revenge strike. Mercury is the 4th house. This is the White House. This is the White House. How about for October, November? Let's see what we can get for the White House in October, November. Because this looks like, 9th house is foreign lands. It's oil sometimes. More like Pisces, though. Pisces is oil. It's the Middle East. It is the Middle East. So this could be a king of the Middle East that we are, somebody very powerful. A leader of the Middle East is coming in. It's like maybe it's two countries. This is also like Iran, Iraq. That would be Mercury too. So that could be part of that. So are we talking about, it's hard to even figure out who's who because there's so many people who, would like to cause us pain. Oktoberfest ends October 5th. Okay. And come on, Jen, are you serious? The San Francisco Air Show 2025 highlights female flyers. Oh, Jesus. All right. You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to look at the San Francisco trend. Food and Val. What a great day. Love it, Deb. Like witches at black masses. Yes. And Michelle, thank you for saying that. Please hit the like button. Right? Hegseth is calling generals by the masses. Buckeye, you said you told me not to travel in October. I'm taking the advice. Good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking if there's an outage or something, it might make sense. And Jen, did I say hi to you? Nice to see you there. All right. That's a good one, though, Raymond. Oktoberfest. And Lucy said, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to tell hundreds of generals about the warrior ethos and rare gathering national security concerns with generals in one location. Yeah. A lot of people, there's some leaks happening. I don't know if you've noticed people behind the scenes saying he's out of his depth was one headline. It's just trying to show strength, I guess, from one individual as far as his strength. I would be curious what Saudi Arabia and Iran and Qatar. Yeah, Qatar is gold. I mean, we're talking about gold. I wonder if that might be something that has to do with the gold market. Let's I'm going to pull for the gold market, and that's going to be, when is that going to be? Hold on. Mercury, it's like gold tanks at this point. So probably mid-October, we're talking like something happens where it is a huge shock. It is huge. We're going to see a lot of, maybe because of the US solar return showing this Leo here. It's also a thief. Remember, anytime you see Mercury in poor aspect, it can represent fires and bad weather, but it can also represent a thief. So maybe somebody's trying to steal something. Looks like they're having a hard time though because of the T-square, not really able to. But yeah, Mercury is aspecting there. Let's see. I wonder if this is a fire. Okay, let me see here. Am I seeing a fire here? Is there some kind of fire that's being set in October because of all the Leo energy? Woo! Oh my God. Wow. That really flew out. Hold on. Put myself back together again. Oh my God. We've got King of Wands reversed. So what do you think that means? I think it's somebody in power. Sometimes it doesn't mean they fall. Sometimes it just means that they're sick. But yeah, something is happening here. Yeah, it could be gold. Could be gold. something's happening with the gold market. So, of course, this is entertainment purposes only, but we'll have to see what the gold markets are doing. Lucy, you said Christchurch opened a DC location on July 13th. Pete Hegseth was in attendance. Fire set in diversion tactic to gold theft. It's interesting that you say that because we are getting a lot of diversions lately. Suddenly we're going to war with Venezuela, but it just happens to be in the middle of all of the, scandals. Yeah, Raymond, interesting. Gold and silver is hitting record highs because of uncertainty in the present economic conditions, which would totally make sense. So why are we seeing something that might have something to do with gold? And remember on yesterday, we were talking about the omen for Trump and how he was getting on a gold escalator. He was getting on a gold escalator and it quote unquote broke or it stopped, and how that could potentially be an omen. So, will that mean that something happens to gold? I guess we're going to have to find out. Okay, good Lord, look at that chart. Also, crypto too. So, it looks like crypto is going to be actually getting some momentum here. There's some crypto. This is money, 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 lots of money, fast money. If you had, and I have no idea, I only know XRP pretty much. And you might want to check out my crypto show too, which was super interesting. I had a guest on who knows a lot about crypto and showed us how to start trading. But with Saturn and Neptune there, that shows me that it could reflect maybe a coin or something. Maybe it's a red, maybe it's an Aries type of, I don't know, name that's part of us. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. But there's somebody here who cuts it. Who cuts it. He says this man breaks it. It's a Virgo. Yeah, it's a fight. It is somebody who loses a lot of crypto money and is very angry. I wonder if this is a female who's upset about the crypto. I mean, kind of far-fetched because we're really getting into combining all of the energies here, but this looks like a broken female who's angry about crypto. What? All right, I'm gonna have to pull a card. All right, tell us about this female or a market maybe that breaks and there's a lot of anger about it. What are we seeing here as far as Venus and Aries? Judgment. Whoa. Okay, so what I would say is probably somebody who was doing pretty well, maybe with the crypto market or maybe through some type of, it's kind of like with or with Neptune there, sort of something that's artificial, something that is fake, or could have something to do with pharmaceuticals. Maybe there's some kind of pharmaceutical news that's coming out. And I am a little bit thoughtful of Tyler Mortensen. Are we going to see anything in October, November that's shocking about Tyler Mortensen, who, of course, was the assassin of Charlie Kirk? Ooh. Yes, looks like he's stuck. Is Tyler Mortensen in danger? Whoa, I picked two accidentally. King of Cups and 10 of Swords. Looks like power, but I believe he did it. I'm sure some of you probably are wondering who might have done it, who might have murdered Charlie Kirk. Audio power user. Oh my God, yes. Wasn't that in the Heart to Heart intro? My God, I love that show where, they just stopped. That's too funny. Somebody's got to pull that up. Jen, that would have been my face too. Like, what? Now, there was another escalator that was going up, so they could have turned around and gone up, but yes. Lucy, you said the following following week, Trump made that public comment on the Idaho 4 case and making Koberger explain himself. Toy gold in them there hills. And yeah, it's interesting that you touch on that. Lucy Hegseth attended service at Church of Christian Nationalist pastor who doesn't think women should vote and wants U.S. to be theocracy. And I was thinking about how we are so much in the World War II themes and how right at the end of the 40s and then definitely in the 50s, the the subject of family and staying home to support your husband, those types of real traditional ideals were at their height around that time. And so it's kind of like that theme is coming in, trying to push us to go backwards into the 1950s time frame. And I was just watching an old movie with Fred Astaire, and it was, obviously when they were dancing, and the women who were dancing, they were grown women. They were dressed up like baby dolls with these big dresses. And so I was thinking, maybe we're headed in that direction where there is a faction that wants females to have a different role than they do right now. Not as strong, maybe. Yeah, Saudi wants females out of military. Okay, Jen, Neptune protocol allows lending, borrowing of crypto. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. That's a good one. It's interesting about Virgo, too, that's in there. Mars in Virgo for the USA solar return chart. Um, you know, Aries is where you're going to fight. That's what you want. You want to fight. And so with Virgo, that could be details, wanting details, constantly wanting perfection, fighting for perfection. So that's possible. Yeah. It had a psyops feel to it with all the openness for his call for all leaders to gather to know. Yeah. Yeah. We know. Yep. That is the literal theme in Moscow, Idaho, Stickergate. Really? Stickergate? I don't know that one. Explain. All right, now. All right, so yeah, so we've got the very right in here. So we still are. I mean, let's face it, we've been in this Venus time period for a little bit now. It was September, like this will be September 4th. And so, yeah, this right as Venus began, that's when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So that could have been part of it, and in the neck. Wow. Yet it's coming. I think it's coming in again. I really do. And it could be because of revenge. So there's that Scorpio theme there. So it's kind of like an eye, Uranus for an eye for an eye coming in. Okay, there it is. Venus and Uranus. This is somebody who is going to have something, could be suffocated, could be strangled, something like that. All right, so now we've got USA. Okay, already did that one. This is Donald Trump's solar return for 2024. He obviously began his solar return in June. So June 14th was his birthday. And so it would be July 13th when the assassination attempt happened. And so we would look at where the moon was, and the moon's down here. And of course, the moon opposing Saturn would normally be death. Saturn moon means death. If it's in your solar return chart, it doesn't necessarily mean death, but it can show that somebody that, you might end up going to a funeral. But there it is. You could see that sometimes with Prince William and Prince Harry's chart. Sometimes they have to go to funerals or something like that where they're sad. Saturn moon means to be sad. It means you're showing up where Saturn moon means black. So everybody's wearing black. And so honestly, looking at this, he should have been Cade, right? But because of, And I say should have, meaning because the chart shows that there's lots of fear and upset in this time frame. But remember, I told you that Vertex is the fate point, and fate was on his side. So you could see that Scorpio coming in there right here. Interesting, too, how the word turn has been coming up, where in this point, or at this point in 2024, Donald Trump was said to have turned his head. We're even seeing these recreations, these digital recreations that are in slow-mo, where you can see his neck and all of that. And you could kind of see that too with JFK when he was going in the car, and there's lots of slow-mo of him and being killed um, and all of that. But now we're seeing the neck with Kirk, but he really, this was fate stepped in. Fate stepped in. And it almost looks, isn't it weird that it's Scorpio that steps in? It's almost like he's pulling him out. He's this, whoever this Scorpio energy is, it's pulling him out. Like, you've got some work to do yet. Might be Scorpio related. And now this is Donald Trump's 2025. So let's look and see where the Vertex is for him. It's coming up again. Looks normally very good. And you can look at this in your own chart. Look back in some of your years where it was like, God, I can't believe I did that. That was great. See what the Vertex is doing. If there were times when it just things didn't work out, again, look at the Vertex. Now here we have some really good aspects for Donald Trump for the Vertex. Yet we have something here that he did not have in 2024, and that is a square to the Vertex. And that is right here. It is with Aries and Chiron. So this is some kind of pain here. Coming in early days of October, because he's got Virgo here and Mercury, we're looking at here. Mercury, for the most part, is okay, except for this square here with Aries. This can show inflammation. It can show, well, I mean, that's the rising sign, but let's look at his health. The sixth house is in Aquarius, and Uranus, ruling Aquarius, is squaring Mars in Leo. So it does seem like Donald Trump is consistently having trouble with his heart. This would be the heart. So it's hard. It's like he is doing in his mind what's best, but he is weak at the same time. Trying to do his job. He's got a lot in common, I'm afraid, with King Charles, trying to rule something, but not being at full capacity. Now, we're going to look at October 4th here. And this is when the fate comes in, maybe October 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And something here with Aries. But let's look and see what's happening with the good side. You see, if you've got a triangle in your solar return chart, you are doing pretty well. It looks like a lot of fame. It looks like it's something big is in the news. It's pretty powerful. Big win. Capricorn is the government. So big government news here. Has to do with his family, fifth house, but it's also having to do with his party. And Saturn rules his party. They're in Aries. There's some rednecks in there. But yeah, they're all fighting. The party is fighting. They've got red hats on, but yet what's interesting is they are gaining something here. North Node is Pisces. Maybe they're gaining a new navy. They're gaining a yacht. The mega yacht is being unveiled. There's also this trine here. Now we like to look at the moon because the moon is going to show something that's famous. So this could be Elon. This could be Elon. You guys have been talking about it, telling me to talk about it, and I think this is Elon. Elon is coming up. They're going to announce something, I think. It looks like it's going to be around the first week of October. This is crazy. This is typical Gemini. They don't hold a grudge. You can talk to them weeks after and things will be fine and you can move on. Yeah, maybe we're getting a new military group like the space thing. Did y'all notice King Charles' fingers look like they were going to pop? His skin is so tight, and Donald's have been looking like that too. Side note, yeah. So two kings. Scottish church is called Kirks. Oh my God, I did not know that. That's so interesting. Yeah, Christ Church members are often referred to as Kirkers. So if that's the case, then Charlie Kirk, obviously he's the symbol of extreme viewpoints, but also religious. There is a hit to religion in a sense in this time and space. Broken Blue Blade, you're like, I think you're onto something, Lucy. Raymond. I love some of your insights. Have no fear of perfection. You'll never reach it. Salvador Dali. Love it. Yes. Jen, Black Moon, Lilith, Revenge. Green described as playing war games in the basement with donated coffee pots that have had their thermodynamics reprogrammed. And green, I mean, that is Taurus. So that's too funny. Yeah. Okay, the Idaho Super Agreement. Interesting. A certain non-Christian faith already has theocracies and do not allow women to vote. So crazy. Okay, this is a side note. We were talking about Amy Bradley last Tuesday for True Crime Tuesday, and we were talking about how Pisces represents cruises and all the Piscean things. After the show, I happened to see something that came up that had to do with her brother. And he was saying how Scientology, of course, representative by Pisces, and it was in the crime chart as the rising sign of Pisces. So, of course, we were going to see something that has to do with an alleged cult. They came in to try to do some kind of freaky stuff on the family that was grieving, and the father finally said, "Get out." Now, this is alleged. This is what Amy Bradley's uh, brother was was saying about how the Scientologist came in. And then it got me to thinking about Tom Cruise and how his last name is Cruise, which is what we were talking about, and how there's been some kind of, and I'm really getting into the weeds here, but how there was rumor about the Scientology cruise being near Rhapsody on the Seas, where Amy Bradley's family was. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but still kind of freaked out about the Tom Cruise thing. Not that he had anything to do with it, but okay. Idaho's super agreement is with the Idaho National Laboratory. INL is directly related to national security. UI having a 5-year partnership with INL is huge, bigger than people understand. Okay. Hello, Thila. Hi, Val. There is a looming government shutdown October 2nd, and DJT is threatening to fire federal employees. This is a good point. The firing is Leo, so it makes me think it would, it's October 2nd. I wonder if it would be later in October, because it could show that everybody's upset because they're fired. They've already been fired. Yeah, and Uranus is to shut, to cut, to divorce. Let's talk about these. This is more Scorpio here. Let's talk about, with the cards, these government folks. The government shutdown, is that what we're seeing with Venus and Uranus there in the early days of October? Give us some kind of a hint on government employees losing their jobs. 9 of Pentacles. So lots of money. Yeah, but what does that mean? Clarifier card on will the government shut down and fire employees? 8 of Cups. So maybe not. It does seem like an interruption of some sort. Will some people be fired in October by the Trump administration? Whoa. King of Pentacles again. Oh, I wanted to pull, I wonder who that King of Pentacles is. Somebody very powerful in the government. Hmm. Elon Musk. Let's get to Elon Musk. Let's get a card for Elon for October. Oh. Understandable. He's got a big headache. He's like, oh, and that's how he feels about the government, and that it's just broken. And he's right. He is right to, I don't know, a large extent, but yeah, they're like the Veterans Administration. I mean, come on, guys, it's time to fix that. Like, it just like continues to be broken. But the way they're saying to fix it, that's the other story. Let me get a clarifier card on Elon Musk in October. Well, the sun reversed. Now, maybe he's backing up. Maybe he's backtracking. Maybe there was some kind of big thing that he wanted to do. Now, this is also power too. So maybe power is lost by Elon. Maybe he's shutting off the power. Yeah, toy, 100% broken and needs to be fixed, meaning the government. There we go. 2 hurricanes becoming 1. That looks like a threat as well. Let's look at the hurricanes. Tell us about the hurricane coming up, that there are 2 hurricanes becoming 1. 10 of Swords, survivable, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. More information about the 2 hurricanes headed for the East Coast. King of Swords. National Weather Service is having a hard time with leadership. Looks like somebody's up there waiting for it. And this is a very smart person. So this could be good. This actually is good. But trouble ahead. Okay, Buckeye, could you see if Tom Cruise is straying from that religion? I think he's stuck in there for life, but let's see. Tom Cruise and Scientology. Looks like he's slowing it down a little bit. Using his third eye. Looks like a yes. Is he going to make a final break of Scientology in the next 10 years? No, it's not a good card. It's not being able to transform. Stuck. I'd say stuck. So there you go. All right. Now we've got, I hope you guys are excited about Halloween like I am. We'll have to do some Halloween shows. All right. We still have a few to go here. So, yeah, so there is Donald Trump. This Aries doesn't look so good. It looks like some kind of pain. And it's the 5th house. It has to do with, it could have something to do with the military. There's some military trouble here. And that red line that goes from the military, because that's it right here, goes there. It looks like a big battle. These are the bureaucrats here. Capricorn. Oh, yeah. It's a big fight with the bureaucrats, and they're going to be talking back and forth. If you say this, then why are your people over there? Why aren't they doing their jobs? It looks like quite an argument with, you got the Capricorn. These are government types, the govies. It looks like big crypto news, though, definitely with, as we're seeing Pluto here. Yeah, we got Uranus coming in here. And this is happening around October 11th. October 11th, 12th, 13th, and that's Mars. So this could be heart attack territory. You want to stay healthy. If you have any kind of palpitations or anything like that, got to have that doctor. Obviously they do. Trump does. But this is something that's in the news this is a big one. Taurus is food. Uranus is fast food. And no wonder fast food, it squares with Leo. The heart doesn't like fast food. There's something that could be part of that equation. It is a shock to the king. The king is really outraged by something, and he is stopping something. I think, see, this is Donald Trump up here now, changing to Uranus, and he is super angry, and he is stopping this, which looks like it's doing pretty well. Looks like government is doing its job finally. And he's like, no way, we are not doing that. Doesn't necessarily mean that Donald Trump is, he looks like he's saying something shocking in the news about these government types that get their way. He wants to fire people. This is firing. There are people getting fired, and it is starting around October 11th. It's all in the news. You can see that. So didn't the card say that nobody was getting fired? I can't remember. But this looks like, yeah, it looked like there was somebody who was the head maybe of an agency who was getting fired. It is, again, the king is shocked. Maybe the person has a K in their name, sometimes a C in their name. C is Charlie. There's a lot of Leo types have C's in their name, like coeur, is that how you say heart in French? Or Corona is Leo. So we're looking at C names as well. Coeur. But yeah, this is a big shock. Let's do a card on this shock. This could either be a heart attack, a firing. It is in the news like you wouldn't believe. And it's also a man that's hiding. It's a man who strikes. And so we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to men striking. This person could have, like, remember Tyler Robinson? Oh, this could be Tyler Robinson because Leo is Robin's son. That's a Leo name. Tyler is also a Leo name, like Taylor is. He might be in danger. Tyler Robinson. Is Tyler Robinson in danger in jail? The world reversed, no, would indicate no. And a clarifier card for Taylor Robinson. Maybe it shows the world's upside down. 9 of Wands. Seems like it might be something that is maybe in the foreign lands. So we could still be seeing in our American media, we could be seeing something about a king that has an upset. So we're already seeing that with Sarkozy, Tyler on watch list, and Candace Owens is coming out and saying, they're saying this, but it's total BS. Eleanor DT goes after his enemies. October 13th, Comey arraignment. Oh my God. Wow. The Find Out Now survey run for the national from September 15th to the 21st found that 53% of Scots backed removing the monarch as Scotland's head of state and becoming a republic instead. Ooh, that's a lot. Halloween's your favorite holiday. Halloween is your favorite as well. Toy, he's a god in Scientology, and they have all of his deepest, darkest secrets. You think Robinson is in solitary? I don't know. There's going to be a Leo type that gets zapped. That's for sure. Right before Christmas, too. You think it's a CIA operation? CIA, right? I don't think so. It was too sloppy. Although, maybe it could be set up that way, but let's ask the cards about Tyler Robinson. Was there any type of CIA involvement with, I can't even believe I'm asking this question, but you never know. We're in crazy times right now. Is there any chance that the CIA was involved with Charlie Kirk's assassination? Oh, God. The Chariot. And let me get a clarifier card, too. Let me see here. 9 of Swords reversed. A vehicle of some sort. He was a vehicle of something, maybe fill in the blank. But 9 of Swords reversed. This is maybe coming out of a state of fear. Would that be something? He was fearless, but I don't know what to make out of those cards. What do you guys think? I would say maybe there's a possibility. Maybe there's a possibility because we did get a yes card. MK Ultra stuff. We are in crazy, chaotic times for sure. Scotland Independence Party deep in scandals at the moment. This is a problem here. This is a problem. And this really starts to get kicked in October 11th. And why does it get kicked in October? On October 11th, because that's when this chart changes to Aquarius and Uranus activates. So boom, it's going to be like somebody's gone. And I'm afraid to say, guys, Mars in Leo in the 12th house, that's a man who's in prison. That's a man who's in prison who could unalive himself. So this could this could be now it might be just talked about in the news because of the ninth house. All right, then we get in a little bit later into this time frame, and this is Pisces going to start activating mid-November, and we've got that Neptune there, and it is in this red T square. So, I mean, this is because of Aries. That means the top brass of the military, and it's like the military disappears because Neptune is the magician. Remember, we got that. So I wonder if that meant the king disappeared with those cards. But there's somebody who wants to take stage left here. I think we might see some military quitting or leaving. This is his chart. When we see red lines in Donald Trump's solar chart, it means it causes some issues. It's like it's not easy. He's got to kind of figure it out. So this is right around the holidays, and it's not very convenient. Yet we have this person right here who is helping matters. Why is this person helping matters? Because of this. It's technology. There could be something in the news that is being reported on, or there's an announcement that has to do with military technology. And so that could be coming out here, maybe drones, something, but it's some kind of good news that's coming out in December for the military. But this T square is not good. This is very difficult. It's for all to see. It's the 10th house. 10th house is also the government as well. This is hard for Congress because Jupiter's up there. And what are they doing when there's a square to Mercury? It means they're gossiping. So lots of gossip. It's not very good. It's not productive. There's Venezuela, the moon at 29 degrees. So you've got Saturn transiting back and forth over the moon. Saturn and moon are mortal enemies. It shows fear. It shows mental inability. It shows tired, shutting down. It shows poverty. Venezuela's having a hard time right now. Saturn needs to move on about 2 years. Venezuela will be coming out of this very dark period. And my guess is Maduro will be done. He will be out of there. Let us figure out what is up with Maduro. Will Maduro be gone? 7 of Cups, paralysis here. For Venezuela. How does Venezuela look in 3 years? Ooh, that's good. So yeah, you're gonna be able to be free again. Oh, I love that card for Venezuela. Michelle, sounds like you're describing the UK. It's funny that you say that because the UK and the US are both going through Sati Sati, which is the Saturn moon transit. Does mean a lot of fear. You see all of these things in the news, like taking vitamin C can cause cancer, those types of things, just like every day, they'll find things that everybody does on a daily basis and say that it's horrible for you. Then you'll hear everybody, did you know everybody's moving? Oh, yes, they're moving. They're not going to be staying in this country. And they're moving to the UK. UK is going through Sadi Sadi as well. So they're just basically jumping out of the pot and into the fire. A lot of themes about criminals in this time period. A lot of people get taken to court during Saturn moon. A lot of people get things stolen from them. So you're seeing that from a grand scale with countries here. Yes, Buckeye, we will do another. I would like to do that this weekend. So let's do another weather show. Oh, I get it. There's some circles I don't talk astrology in because they wouldn't think I'm smart anymore. Joke's on them, right? Um, October 6th, 1981, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat assassinated in Cairo. We're going to have to look that one up, Raymond. October 6th, 1981. And let's see what we get. Early 80s were tough. Cairo. I wonder what time that was. It really doesn't matter. We'll still get the gist here. And probably some Leo. Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. And Yeah, so there we go. I'm gonna keep your comment up there so everybody knows what we're talking about. And we've got, yeah, look at that, Mars. Whoa! Oh my god. Are you serious? Look at that. It's funny, I've got, like, a sports commercial here, which is also Leo, but look at that. We've got Mars in Leo, and it's squaring Uranus, which is an assassination. We're gonna see some more assassinations, most definitely. It's interesting how it's got a Venus there, but also, this is even worse, really, because you've got the black moon Lilith right in the corner there, just showing absolute disdain or disinterest in how it affects anyone. Just it's almost like a robot. You press go and they kill. Um, Interesting how Libra's there. Look at all those politicians. Hmm. Looks like they know the assassin. What was the story behind that? I forget. Yeah. Was it a coup? It looks like a coup because of Libra there. I think so. God, gotta brush up on my history. CR user, I'm going to say it the right way this time. Persephone's Revolution, Pluto's Path to the End of Empire by Rosie Finn is where I got the Pluto report. Okay. Um, yeah, it does feel like the 80s all over again in the UK. And what's so funny is you're seeing people on Instagram dressing like people in the 80s. Like they really um, romanticize the 80s and how great it was. And I don't know. You know what I think is really interesting too is that if you notice, every time we look back in any decade, we see people as if they are wearing costumes. So if you think of it from that perspective, we're all really wearing costumes. We are in some kind of play here because 10 years from now, people are going to be dressing up like us, well, maybe 20 years. So, hey, CR user. And toy. You're like um, Sherlock Holmes, Val. Yes. Okay. Yes, hit the likes. Sarah user, that Pluto South delineation is a huge deal. It starts September and will be for 10 years, then not again for a few thousand years. Yes. Yep. I'm glad you reminded us. Middle East terrorists operate in Venezuela. That's true. Spot on, darling, about the Saturn moon. Yeah, got to go with the big earrings for lots of makeup, eyeliner. I could go with the 80s for a little while. Lots of good movies. Always a good movie on a weekend to go to. I miss those days. JR, you said there was another shooting. Bullets with writing were left at the scene. Yes, that was Dallas. And interesting, it would be Dallas, which is right near Love Field, which has also been having trouble with all of the airport telecom problems. Yeah, Texas, Dallas, reminding me of assassinations. Shoulder pads. Oh, God. Bring back the shoulder pads. The bigger, the better. You missed the 90s. I missed the 90s too. I'll never forget. I knew it was the 90s. Remember when Janet Jackson came out with that video and she was all in white and it was all very Love Will Never Do. Is that the one? And it was such a different sound than what we had been hearing. It was kind of zen. It wasn't, because thinking about the 80s, oh, now I'm starting to think we must like going back to the 80s period because everyone looked like a big lion. It was very much a Leo period, which is what we're in now. I don't know if our hair is as big as it was before. And of course, I guess hairspray would be Saturn. That's glue. That would be more Saturn and Leo. Didn't answer that question about Anwar Sadat. He was assassinated October 15th, 1970 by members of the Egyptian Islamic Jihad on the 6th. Sadat was a senior member of the Free Officers who overthrew King Farouk, the Egyptian Revolution of 1952. Last months of Sadat's presidency were marked by internal uprising. Following a failed military coup in June 1981, Sadat ordered a major crackdown that resulted in the arrest of numerous opposition figures. Although Sadat still maintained high levels of popularity in Egypt, it has been said that he was assassinated at the peak of his unpopularity. October 6, 1981, Sadat was assassinated during the annual victory parade held in Cairo to celebrate Egypt's crossing of the Suez Canal. Islambouli emptied his assault rifle into Sadat's body while in the front of the grandstand, mortally wounding the president. 11 others were killed. The assassination squad was led by Lieutenant Al Islambuli after a fatwa approving the assassination had been obtained from Omar Abdelrahman. Okay, and then he was sentenced to death and executed by firing squad in 82. Yeah, definitely a lot of Scorpio there. You could see that the Scorpio is Islam and Middle East. Hair bands, yes, John Bon Jovi, and I like Slaughter. There's some people on Instagram, and they're two guys. They dress like 80s guys, and it's very funny. They're like always visiting like Target to like heavy metal music. October 8th, 1871, the Great Fire of Chicago. According to legend, it started with Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicked over a lantern in her barn on DeKoven Street with a K. 300 killed, 90,000 homeless. There's no way I believe that. No, I mean, back then they would have believed it. Come on, Lucy. I would wear shoulder pads with like a bathing suit. Why not? The Sex Pistols. Yeah. You still have that hair. You had to have wings. I know. So funny about the wings. I hope YouTube doesn't try to hide any 80s comments. It was a punk band that I saw. You saw them. Wow. Yeah. Devo's coming there. Whip it good. Hey, TJ. Madonna and Whitney. Yes. I mean, George Michael, the most beautiful voice. Like, I cried when he died. Y'all can have some of my hair. It looks like 70s Diana Ross if she was around. So funny. Cyndi Lauper. I don't like Cyndi Lauper because they would play her when we were in gym class, and it was like a ridiculously early gym class. So every time I hear her, I think of that. Like I was always miserable. Okay. So that's Venezuela, which it would be Pisces because it's an oil state. It is, obviously on the water. It's coastal, so very Pisces, of course. It's going to be Saturn is moving through Pisces. Now we've got George Washington. This is his 2025 solar. You can look at anybody who's passed and look at their solar return. You can still get information if you wanted to. I hope that's not taboo to do because then I'm in trouble. But his ruling planet is Mercury in Pisces this year. And so this started February 22nd on his birthday. And so what I wanted to do is in our investigation, I wanted to look at October because that's what looks a little bit like there's yet another assassination. So we're up there. Now, also keeping in mind that when we've got that cluster or stellium in a house, it's going to mean that there's some serious stuff happening. And what's so weird, and this could be when we're coming out of retrograde, sometimes that happens with weather, but there's going to be a big weather event, most definitely somewhere in the US. It's possible it could be a hurricane. I mean, you don't hear about winter hurricanes, but something looks like there's a big, big weather event coming. We are looking at Washington's solar to see what's going on now. This is October for him, so Saturn's up here. Now, the 10th house shows the government, and it shows that it is stopped. It does look like there's a threat. There's fraud, people disappear. Something's happening there. 10th house represents the government. Now, Pisces, too, this could be the Venezuelan government. It could be something that is being stopped by our government. It could be problems with FEMA or things that have to do with the weather and the government. So some type of, we're already seeing that, but it could really come to a head maybe late November, December time period. So right now we are in the Saturn period. My birthday is within a day of Washington. So I'm looking at my own right now. Saturn, because when you're in the Saturn time frame and Saturn is like not well aspected, it's kind of a little bit of a bummer. It still has nice things though. There's a nice grand trine. That's kind of what's going on right now. They are having dialogue of the government shutdown. There's that blue grand trine, which shows that things can be diverted. Things can pivot So there are options. There are options, but we do have Pluto coming in here. It's squaring Black Moon Lilith. This is mid-October. So there's somebody here. This could be a bad politician. Okay, this is a bad, bad, bad politician. Why Libra represents politicians. And this is a revenge strike of some sort. For George Washington, what does it mean? Well, this is his party. The fifth house is your party because it's literal. Normally it's two party. In this case, Venus is up here and Venus is in Aries. Venus looks good this year. Politicians, they are able to win. They're able to overcome something. Interesting how Aquarius is in the ninth house of the media. And Aquarius is going to represent shocks. So Uranus is over here and it's kind of hidden shocks. It's, whoa, 12th house, prison shocks. And that's going to be in, we're going to see some stuff about prison. Look at all of this about Pisces. 10th house too is when you've got like a government committee meeting and it's all out for everybody to see. And they're talking about something that has to do with fraud, jail, somebody disappearing. So we might be seeing some type of hearing. These are hearings around. I mean, they don't work during holidays, do they? But it looks like the holidays. There it is, a little bit bigger. 10th house represents the government, House and Senate committee hearings. Looks like, remember the last time I saw something like this, it was Watergate because of water and a hotel. So are we seeing something about a hotel? Are we seeing something that maybe just has to do with the weather? Or are we seeing something that has to do with old photos? And so is there a Jeffrey Epstein meeting that's going to happen? It just might. Oh, you saw Janet Rhythm Nation tour. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Those were the best concerts back then. Congress is running the risk of government shutdown if they can't reach a funding agreement by October 1st before the start of a new fiscal year. Yeah, there's going to be some people pointing the finger for sure. Your daughter had a party in her 30s. They were singing Donna Summer. I love it. Winter hurricane, possible nor'easter. Mm-hmm. You just have to put some mousse in there and dry shampoo. Oh, Michelle, is that George Michael? He had a house by the River Thames. Beautiful singer. All right. So, Beastie Boys. I liked them, but I didn't like the boys who liked them. So it was kind of like it kind of reminded me of them. Picking up Mod Pizza and couldn't chat. Hello, DJ. Let's go back to the solar. 2025. Fourth house is going to be talking about Congress a lot. So Mercury, fourth house is Congress. But this isn't until like this period. Oh my God. This is something that gets chopped. Something's getting chopped. It looks like, yes, Congress is interrupted. It definitely does. There's somebody here who wants it to happen. Yet, we've got this right here. I think this could save them. And this little triangle here, this is money because of Aries. There could be some kind of like agreement that they're going to give more money to the military, or maybe it's a parade. We'll keep the government open and we'll have a military parade maybe around Christmas. And it would be something like that. Not that that would be it, but as an example of how these two differing types of energies could still coexist. I mean, you could say something works and then it gets interrupted, or somebody is at war here and then a negotiation comes in. So I'm going to be positive here. I'm going to be positive. I mean, right in the middle of Algol, it's not great. I don't think it's going to last a long time. How do I know it's not going to last a long time? Because we've got a nice aspect to Saturn. If we had a square to Saturn, it'd be like, oh my God, this is taking forever. Are people going to lose their jobs? Well, we're going to look at the workforce. Actually, we wouldn't look at the workforce. We would look at the government. This is the government employees up here. You could do the sixth house from the 10th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mars. Whoa. Mars is the employees. employees are fired. Oh my God. Whoa. Okay. So it does look like there's going to be some employees that are fired. And it's possible that a female employee of the government, because the sixth house from a house is the worker or workers, it looks like somebody's very upset that they got fired. So that could be coming in. That could be possible. Let's get some more info. They play Billy Joel Uptown Girl. Can't stand it. Oh, really? I like that one. I like that one, but I totally get it. And then there were a couple of Billy Joels that reminded me of when I would have to move to a different town and I didn't know anybody. And the other one was Benny and the Jets guy. Jan, you illustrated Beastie Boy posters back in the day. Come on. That's too funny. Yes, George Michael was so talented. So sad about him. He left us way too early, and I saw his or one of his last concerts when he was over in the US. Oh, baby, it's a wild world. Yeah. God, we could talk about the 80s forever, huh? But I remember, the one, the song that really captures the 80s for me is Manic Monday. Manic Monday. Ugh, that reminds me of waking up for school and I didn't want to. I think it's a great idea, Jen. Do it. How many can we have in the next year? Just keep the government running. Keep people in their jobs. We got to do those the midterm charts. This woman, this is an angry woman. Can you give us some kind of profile for this angry woman? God, I've been talking for a long time. Profile for this angry woman that's going to come out. I think she got fired. I do. That'd be a Uranus square. It could be a government worker, government female worker. Why? Because this is the government up here, the MC, and you see that the female falls, the female quits. The female, hopefully doesn't unalive herself, but the female falls and quits or is fired. So that's what we're doing. We're getting some kind of indicator on who this is. Who's this female that we're seeing? Is she a government worker? 10 of Pentacles reversed. Somebody lost their money. Can you give us more information? Is this a government worker that we're seeing that's coming in that is really upset and angry? Does something maybe shocking? Whoa. Empress. Well, it looks like maybe the Empress could be a pregnant woman, but could it be a pregnant woman? Is this... hold on a sec. Scorpio's pregnant. Oh my God. Scorpio is pregnancy. A pregnant woman falls. And this is between October 4th and November 4th, probably the early days of October. Pregnant woman falls. Tell us more about this pregnant woman. I hope not. I hope not. 8 of Cups. She's had it. She's quit. She's like, I'm out of here. Yeah. And with hormones, she's going to say what's on her mind. And it's going to be a problem. Queen of Pentacles reversed. So yeah, it's all about money and feelings and pressure, families. It's going to be an added trouble. Yeah, birthing. If you're interested in a reading, I've got a special. It's good for the end of this weekend. If you want to think ahead, booking for November, you're going to want to see these specials coming up. They're pretty good. So go to my website, astrologywithval.as.me. Eleanor, is there going to be another war like the one we had in July in the next few months with U.S. bombers? It's a good one. Let's see. Are we? I think it's a distraction. I think this war talk is a lot of distraction, even though with Uranus touching Gemini and going in and out, it's probably we're going to be seeing some kind of war. But is there going to be, well, we've got to be a little more specific here. Is there going to be another war that starts in 2025? Well, that's good. No. How about 2026? Oops. King of King of Pentacles. Looks like well, it's possible there's too much trouble with the leadership. More on wars. Wars in 2026. Can you give us a clarifier card? Ace of Swords. So hidden wars. I mean, this is more in the Middle East. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. So we might be addressing some conflicts abroad. I mean, let's face it, we're always battling a war of some sort over on US soil. It's just in different ways, like drug wars and cartel wars and ice wars and all of that stuff. Depends on what kind of war you're talking about. War of words. Oh, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Toy. And yeah, so those are interesting cards. So we'll see what happens. I'll be on again this weekend, so I hope you can join me. Thanks so much for listening to me and talking about George Washington and the 80s. Reminds you of Egypt's tunnels under the pyramids. That's possible. Got to be Iran. I think so. I think so. And Iran and Iraq is Gemini. So 2 eyes. So maybe we're going to be talking about Iran and Iraq coming up in this next month. It's possible. I know, Michelle, peace, please. And thank you, Raymond. And sweet dreams to you, Michelle. Bye, Eleanor. Bye, everyone. And I'll see you soon.